Today on Anime Saturday, I take a look at Season 1 of My Hero Academia. Let's begin. My Hero Academia is an action anime adapted from the 2014 manga series created by Kohei Horikoshi. It tells the story of Izuku Midoriya, nicknamed Deku, who lives in a world where almost everyone has a unique ability called a quirk, and some make a living as superheroes. As one of the rare ones who was born quirkless, he stumbled upon his all-time favorite hero, All Might, who sees something special within him and passes his quirk, one for all, down to him just in time for him to take his exam for entry into UA High School. There he meets friends, deals with rivals, experiences firsthand the seriousness and severity of superhero life, and begins to learn what it truly means to be a hero. Oh my goodness! Readers, it should come to no surprise to you that I went into this anime coming off of the tales of Season 1 of One Punch Man. As a matter of fact, my friend and podcasting partner for the Weeb and the Normie suggested that this series should be the main focus of the first episode because I enjoyed One Punch Man as much as I did. So we watched the first 5 episodes and I discussed my thoughts. Link in the description below if you want to check it out. Soon, we just finished off the entire first season just by hanging out, and for the majority of it, I liked what I saw. I say majority because there was, of course, some things about it that rubbed me the wrong way, but a lot of it, the positive stuff, pretty much balanced it out. Things like Deku's personality, how they handled his budding romance with Ochako, how the school operates, and how his classmates work together to deal with dangerous threats. All of that was handled in a way that helped me factor in the good more than the bad. Though I'm still going to talk about the bad. But for now, let's talk about one of the things that I was very impressed with. Deku. One of the things that I really enjoy about Deku is that he's not Naruto. What I mean by that is that there's a formula a lot of protags in shonen anime in the end of the last generation to the beginning of this current one follow that require them to be either cocky, bratty, or obnoxious. Only for there to be one or multiple in-universe reasons as to why they're like that in order for us to sympathize with them better while still wanting them to overcome obstacles and persevere. Deku doesn't really follow that formula, and I feel that a lot of the reasons why it's refreshing to see how he operates over the course of the season is because he starts off quirkless. He doesn't lash out at society because he was delivered the short end of the stick. He finds other means to pursue his goals, even if it's going to be tough as balls considering his circumstances. Add that with his naturally big heart, the fact that he's so in tune with his emotions and isn't afraid to display them on some fragile masculinity bullshit, and you're genuinely happy for Deku when things start going his way. Before this, I haven't really seen a male protagonist in a shonen anime like him before. I think the closest character I've seen come to that is Shinji from Neon Genesis Evangelion, but it's still debatable whether or not Eva is shonen or seinen. But if you know of any shonen anime that have protagonists in them that are like Deku, please feel free to leave them in the comments section so I can check them out later. Then, of course, there's the rest of the supporting cast, aka the teachers and the rest of Deku's classmates. All Might really needs no explanation. Shota Aizawa, aka Eraserhead, always knows how to straddle the line between hilarious and badass. Nezu is the best principal ever. Momo's great, Froppy's great, Kyoka's great. These two are boyfriends and nothing you can tell me can convince me otherwise. But I would have to say that my favorite friendship/relationship that Deku develops over the course of Season 1 are the ones that he forms between Ochako and Tenya. There's no doubt that Ochako is Deku's love interest in this series.
でもデクって頑張れって感じでなんか好きだ私。デクです。
But it's handled so well in this season compared to other anime that I've seen. The friendship between the two and Deku's attraction to her buds naturally, and they both enjoy each other's company. Outside of what drove him to use his newly acquired quirk during his entrance exam to UA, it's never a damsel in distress situation. Ochako's had Deku's back just as much as Deku had hers. And most importantly, Ochako is allowed to be her own character and not just exist to be a plot device in Deku's development. And while he doesn't necessarily have a best friend at UA per se, the closest he's come to that is through Tenya. Also known as that one kid in class that always reminds the teacher that they forgot to collect last night's homework. Because he's totally that guy. Like, I could already see something about the way he operated during the skirmish exercise they were part of earlier, but the moment Deku nominated Tenya as class representative, because clearly he saw something there too, I knew the two of them were gonna be tight. And considering how his family background molded his teacher's pet mentality, and the fact that both he and Deku have so much respect for each other to the point where they both genuinely want the best for each other, this has to be one of the healthiest peer relationships Deku has had since we were initially introduced to him. Yes, even better than Bakugou. Because fuck Bakugou. Now you can argue that rival characters in anime are antagonistic by nature, and you'd be right somewhat. Because there are in fact rival characters in shonen anime. And then there's Bakugou. Bakugou isn't a rival character, he's a foil. And the purpose of foils are to contrast with other characters, usually the protagonist, in order to shine a brighter light on why we enjoy the protagonist to begin with. Can the rival trope and the foil trope be combined with each other? Yes. But it's the fact that they're combined so frequently in fiction that it makes us believe that the two are usually unanimous with each other. And Bakugou is the perfect example of just one of those entities acting on its own. Because when it comes to qualities Bakugou has that differentiate from the ones that Deku has, it's completely night and day. Usually, rivals can grow to be likable and gain a sense of respect for the protagonist with proper character development and the like, even when the foil and rival tropes are combined. Vegeta is pretty much the shonen poster boy of the combination of those two tropes. But in Bakugou's case, he made it extremely hard for me to give a damn about him throughout the entire season from just one scene in the first episode of the anime alone, and it was this one.
来世は個性が宿ると信じて屋上からのワンチャンダイブ屋上からのワンチャンダイブ屋上からのワンチャンダイブ
Yeah, that immediately put him on my shit list. Not to mention the actual reason why Bakugou hates Deku being that he takes actions of kindness from individuals that he sees are lesser than him as an act of humiliation. All it took to make Bakugou realize he was gonna make Deku's life a living hell throughout their entire childhood was preschool Deku asking preschool Bakugou if he was alright after taking a stumble and offered to help him up. That was enough for Bakugou to paint a target on Deku's back all throughout their childhood, just rubbing salt in the wound that he was quirkless at the time. Because once Deku got one for all, Bakugou was just out for blood. His ego is so fragile and his personality so stubborn that he refuses to get out of his own head, and it makes him insufferable to me. So much that whenever Bakugou confronted Deku about his new quirk over the course of season 1, especially knowing how Bakugou operates and why he singled Deku out growing up in the first place, I just wish that he just wrote him off once he got one for all. just completely paid Bakugou no nevermind and kept letting him think that he was hiding his quirk all those years until his own fragility and ego drove himself crazy. Because nothing Bakugou did before or during the events of the first season is enough for him to receive a proper explanation regarding how Deku got his quirk. He doesn't deserve Deku constantly trying to mend whatever relationship that they have.
これだけは君には言わなきゃいけないと思って。
He doesn't deserve any of Deku's praises regarding his quirk.
君がすごい人だから。
And the fact that Deku still does all of this, despite Bakugou deserving none of it, says more about Deku's character than Bakugou, and only helps reinforce that big heart of his that I mentioned he has earlier in the video. Just like a foil is supposed to do, not a rival. If anyone deserves to be Deku's rival, it's this dude. But that's not until season 2. But I'm not gonna let one angry ass boy spoil my entire perception of the first season of a superhero anime that I thought was pretty good. It subverted a lot of tropes, went in a lot of directions that I appreciated, and gave me my very first anime ship, which is an accomplishment in itself. Right now, you can stream My Hero Academia on Crunchyroll, Funimation, and Hulu, and either own or rent the episodes digitally via YouTube, Google, Amazon Prime, and Vudu. But if you're already caught up on the previous seasons, you can tune into the simulcast premiere of My Hero Academia Season 4 on both Crunchyroll and Funimation on October 12, 2019. So with that being said, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comments section below what you thought of Season 1 of My Hero Academia if you've seen it. Anime Saturday is possible thanks to the generous support of my fellow readers over on Patreon. So if you want to see more and help financially support the channel, you can join it by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below, where you can also find a link to my merchandise store. Or if you prefer to give a one-time donation, you can find links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi account in the description box as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.